Welcome to Sports Jam. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. Plenty of highlights today on the show, including section meet action in alpine and Nordic skiing. And later in the program, we'll meet a pair of veteran Maple Grove High School wrestlers wrapping up their careers with the Crimson.
And we'll get started with section play in girls hockey. Most of the local teams play in Section 6AA. Third seed Maple Grove closed the regular season strong, going 5-0-1 in their final 6 games. The Crimson set for action against number 6 seed Buffalo in the quarterfinals. Lindsay Rothke carries the puck off the wall and takes advantage of a defender with no stick and scores 1-0 Bison. Buffalo dominates the second. Sam Netzelman gets a partial breakaway. Taylor McKinney stops the first shot, but Netzelman chips the rebound in for a 2-0 Buffalo lead. Off a Maple Grove turnover, trying to clear the zone, Katie Rooney will take it, and she slides it across to Katie Vatnsdal for the goal. It's 3-0 Buffalo after 2. Maple Grove gets on the board late in the game on Summer Thibodeau's shorthanded goal, but it's too little too late. Maple Grove is eliminated 3-1.
In the final game of the night, 7th seed Armstrong Cooper faced number 2 seed Minnetonka. Second period, skipper Sydney Morin with a wrist shot from the high slot gives Tonka a 1-0 lead in the second period. Skipper's goalie, Sydney Rossman, helps hold that lead, stopping the scoring chance from Armstrong Cooper's Caitlin Duffy. Still in the second period, yet another Sydney. Sydney Baldwin skates into the circle and scores, and the Skippers are up 2-0. Armstrong grad Eric Johnson sees his Tonka team up 4-0 in the third when Armstrong Cooper gets on the board. The deflected shot by Mari Verbaten finds the back of the skipper's net. It's the only goal, though, that Armstrong Cooper gets. Tonka holds the zone on that clearing attempt. Then Laura Bauman sets up Diana Dreyer for the one-timer goal. Minnetonka ends Armstrong Cooper's season 6-1. Also in 6AA, Hopkins needs overtime to edge Wayzata 1-0. Nina Rogers scores the only goal of the game to eliminate Wayzata. And top seed Benilde St. Margaret's overwhelms North Metro 11-0. Here are the semifinals for Wednesday. Hopkins plays Benilde at 5:30, followed by Minnetonka and Buffalo at 7:30. The winners play for the 6AA championship Friday night at 8 at Parade Ice Garden in Minneapolis. In Section 5AA, Andover knocks out Champlin Park 2-1 in the quarterfinals. The second-seeded Huskies play Moundsview in the semifinals on Tuesday. In boys hockey, Breck's boys hockey team suffered 2 losses in January to Moorhead and St. Thomas Academy. The Mustangs carried an 18-2 record into their game with Totino Grace. Mustangs hoping for another banner this season. First period, Breck's Grant Opperman splits the Eagles defenseman, fights off a check and scores. Nice goal there. It's 1-0 Mustangs early. Second period, Connor Anderley slips a pass to Thomas Lindstrom, who scores. Power play goal makes it 3-1 Breck. But a 5-minute major on the Mustangs gets the Eagles back into the game. Andrew McDonald scores. Breck still leads, though, at 4-2. Third period, Eagles again on the power play. TJ Rue to McDonald for the goal. It's a hat trick for the senior, and now a 4-4 game. McDonald nets his 4th goal of the game here, scoring on a rebound. Yet another power play goal. The Eagles are ahead 5-4. Luke Mazenga caps the scoring later in the third, going top shelf with a wrist shot. Nice win for Totino Grace as they win at Breck 7-4.
Now to boys basketball. Osseo and Park Center played a 1-point thriller in their first meeting, and the Pirates have been red hot. The team's meeting for a second time, this time on the Pirates' home court. And it's a good start for Park Center. Quinton Hooker nails the long jumper on his way to a 29-point night. It's 8-4 PC. Joshua Matthews spots up for 3 for Park Center for a 13-9 lead, but it's all Osseo from there. DJ Abear's jumper won't fall here, but Ian Tyson is there to tip it in with the left hand. Tyson scores 19 on the night. Osseo's up 28-24. Bridge Tussler with a nice hesitation dribble, and he gets to the hoop for 2. Osseo leads 39-29 at the half. And they dominate the second half. Tussler nails a 3 to put the Orioles up by 20. And then he'll reach in to knock it away from the dribbler here. It leads to a layup on the other end on the way to a 24-point game for Tussler as Osseo blasts the Pirates 86-55.
So it felt good to actually come in, and I felt like I contributed pretty well to this team. And to this game, the atmosphere is amazing. This is probably my favorite place to play in the whole entire state.
In another rivalry game, Robbinsdale District teams Cooper and Armstrong hooked up in Plymouth. And Mitchell Bewin is on fire early for Armstrong. He scores their first 12 points as Armstrong jumps out to an early 14-5 lead, 29 total for Bewin. Rashad Vaughn is just as hot for Cooper. This three from the corner is part of a 21-point first half for Vaughn. He finishes with 31. Cooper's up 8 at halftime. Second half, and the Hawks with good passing, and it results in a hoop for Curtis Shelby. Cooper goes on to beat Armstrong 79-70.
Osceola's girls basketball team is in position to win the Northwest Suburban Conference title. The Orioles hold a one-game lead on Centennial. Osceola looking to hold that conference lead as they hosted Blaine. Annaleo Okonkwo drives baseline and passes out to Olivia Antilla for the jumper and an early Orioles lead. Bengals get the ball to Britta Carr, who hits a three, and Blaine is within a point at 12-11. But Osceola starts to pull away from there. Janae Morton with a nice spin move to the basket for two to cap a 9-0 run for the Orioles. They lead by 16 at the half. Second half, Phyllis Webb kicks the pass out to Michaela Bailey, who dials up a three. 41-18 for the orange and black. Morton dishes to Aubrey Colbert for the long two-pointer. Put the Orioles up by 28 points. This one is a yawner. Io Port scores on the baseline drive. The Orioles rout the Bengals 67-35.
Totino Grace and Park Center matched up in a game between Section 3 Class 3A teams. First half, Katie Fern to Nicole Schaub for three. That puts the Pirates in the lead by 5. Gabby Zerer passes into Ashley Carter for Grace. She gets the basket and a foul. Totino Grace leading 26-20. Madison Sukup knocks down a three for the Eagles. That helps them to take a 7-point lead into halftime in this one. And after the halftime entertainment, the Eagles go up by 9 on this hoop. Therese Hinnenkamp scoring on the nice layup there for Grace. The Pirates make a late run. Megan Van Halsen's three brings them within 6 points with under 40 seconds left in the game. The Pirates get the ball back, and Kate Simonet will grab the missed three. She scores plus a foul. The Pirates within 3 with 24 seconds left. After a made free throw by Grace, Kayla McMorris scores, but the Pirates' comeback falls short. 66-63. Grace is the final, and John, would not be a surprise to see those teams meet again at playoff time.
And both are having pretty good seasons. Hope to challenge very good De La Salle team in their section, come up in section play. Well, next up here on Sports Jam, section gymnastics, skiing, and much more. We'll be right back.
Gymnasts in many sections will try to qualify for state this week.
Teams in Section 6AA took part in their meet Saturday in the old gym at Hopkins High School. Wayzata and Hopkins, the local teams in this section. Wayzata's Brenna Ruig scores a 9.3 on the ball, taking 6th place. The top 4 qualify for state. On the beam, the Trojans take the 7, 8, and 9 spots. This is Georgie Crummer scoring a 9.05 for 8th place. Wayzata's only state qualifier is Hannah Roth on the uneven bars. The sophomore scores an 8.975 and takes 2nd place despite bars not being one of her better events.
I've been practicing hard for this event because it's one of my weaker points in the sport. So I practiced hard on that, and then it showed off today that I've been practicing.
Here are the final team scores. Minnetonka qualifies for state with a score of 144.8. Eden Prairie is 2nd, with Wayzata topping 140 points for the first time this season. Good for 3rd place. Hopkins finishes 5th. Minnesota's best prep Nordic skiers head north this week for the state meet in Biwabik. Several local athletes qualified at local section meets last week, including the Section 5 meet at Worth Park. In the girls' 10K pursuit race, Nikki Rieker of Roseville takes 1st place. The Raiders win the team title as well. Kaylee Shagan of Osseo is the runner-up in a time of 31 minutes, 12 seconds. Osseo freshman Sarah Bezdacek also qualifies for state, finishing in 8th place. In the boys' pursuit race, Roseville dominates. Kyle Marshall wins in 25 minutes, 57 seconds. His teammate Samuel Elfstrom is 2nd. It's a race to the finish for 3rd between Osceo's Anders Evenson and Coon Rapids' Calvin Murhoff. Evenson gets 3rd, qualifying for state for a 3rd straight year.
I qualified my junior and sophomore year, so I knew I could do it my senior year. And I was just a little worried because Roseville was added into our section this year, and they got some pretty tough competition. They're ranked top in the state. I knew they had a couple good guys, so I was just happy I got to stick with them.
It was my classic race that really made me confident. Classic is usually the harder race for me, so to know that I finished 8th in Classic, I felt like I had a good chance, knowing that skate was my forte.
At the Section 6 meet, Jan Ketterson of Bloomington Jefferson starts first in the second leg of the boys' pursuit race. Harris Sternberger of Hopkins emerges as the champ in a time of 24:23. The Royals win the team title as well. Ketterson is second, and Jacob Ellingson of Hopkins edges Michael Cork of St. Louis Park for third place, and he's pretty happy about it as he crosses the line. And it's the girls' turn. Sarah Benton of Hopkins starting out with the lead in that second race, and check out the close finish. On the right in purple, Claire Galvin of Minneapolis Southwest edges Benson for first. Their teams tie with Hopkins winning the tiebreaker. Armstrong's Veronica DeSalvo is headed to state after placing 6th. And right behind DeSalvo is Cooper's Ellie Evans. She also advances. Here's what 3 local qualifiers had to say.
It was really exciting. It was super fast. Kind of exceeded my expectations a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I was nervous going to the skate race because I'm a lot stronger classic skier, but I knew as long as I got like in the top 10, I'd be okay. And so I ended up getting 9th, and then I just had to like bring it in. So.
My skate race went really well. I pushed it really hard, which I was very happy with. My classic race, the second race, I was kind of really tired, but I stuck with Veronica kind of until the end, so I'm happy with it.
At the Section 2 meet at Theodore Wirth, Zach Goldberg of Minnetonka wins the race in a time of 26 minutes, 55 seconds. The Skippers win the team title. Sean Heaton of Maple Grove is the top local finisher, taking 16th place. Wayzata's Derek Peterson is in 29th place. To the girls' meet, Elena Sonneson and the Wayzata girls with a great chance to win the team title. Sonneson is the individual winner with a time of 30 minutes, 37 seconds, well ahead of the rest of the field. Eden Prairie's Aaron Stewart is second, and the Eagles and the Trojans battled out for the team title. Merritt Sonneson takes third place for Wayzata. EP's Beth Shape beats out Wayzata's Anna French for 6th place, but the Trojans do win the team championship.
We definitely had confidence, but we didn't want to get too cocky because we know EP is such a great team and we're at just about the same level as them. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough confidence to do our best, but not to get too cocky.
Well, it's a really pressure-packed day for alpine skiers. Section meets are the time to shine if you want to get to that state meet. And it's a bright sunny day for the Section 5 meet at Afton Alps. This is Wayzata's Kelly Steffens. She records a 31:59 for her second run, finishes 6th overall to advance on to state. The girls' champ is 7th grader Rosie Hust of Orono. Her total time for her 2 runs is 101.32. The boys' winner is Brett Rammer of Hopkins. Rex Peter Kiesel places 11th, and he'll advance. The state meet in Alpine is Wednesday at Giants Ridge.
In adapted floor hockey, the Robbinsdale Hopkins Mount West Tonka Robins are the defending state champions in the PI division. The Robins were tested by Brainerd in a regular season game last week. First period, Tyler Sharp passes to Andy Matson, who scores to get the Robins on the board first. Brainerd ties it up. Devin Annable picks off the clearing pass, a perfectly placed shot, but the 8th grader finds the back of the Robins net, and it's 1-1 after a period. Leading 2-1 in the second, the Robins net another. Sarp to Mike Madsen for the goal, and it's 3-1 Robins after 2. The Warriors come on strong in the third period. Following a barrage of shot attempts here, number 60, Brennan Myers, whacks the puck into the Robins net. That ties the game up at 3. But the Robins pull this one out. Andy Madsen clears it ahead to Mike Madsen for the shot and goal. Robbinsdale defeats Brainerd 5-3 to remain unbeaten on the season.
The Maple Grove CI Division team for students with cognitive impairments rode a 2-game winning streak into their game against Mounds View Irondale Roseville. First period, and the Crimson's number 44, Andy Brown, will score his 100th career goal on a backhander. It's a big moment for the senior. Move on to the third period, and Brown with a shot from half court that'll sneak into the Rams' net. Maple Grove leading at 7-3 at this point, but Mounds View makes a big comeback. The long pass here and rolling pucks can be dangerous. Tiki Lear scores on his own rebound, and that ties the game up at 7 apiece. To the final seconds of the game, the puck comes to Bruce Matosovic, and he scores just as time expires. It's a buzzer beater or a heartbreaker for Maple Grove. 8-7 Rams is the final. And despite the loss, John, congratulations to Andy getting those 100 career goals.
Nice accomplishment as a senior, and good luck to them the rest of the season. Straight ahead here in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we'll meet a pair of Maple Grove wrestlers who are atop the leaderboard at the school.
Maple Grove's wrestling team will host the Section 5 3A team tournament Saturday. Two of the school's best ever wrestlers will lead them into battle. On this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet Johnny Dill and Zach Gauboy. To say they've left their mark on the Crimson Wrestling program is a bit of an understatement. Senior 132-pounder Johnny Dill is first in career wins at the school. His longtime friend, 145-pound senior Zach Gauboy, is number 2.
It means a lot. That's the goal I've been striving for since 7th grade. Came in here and looked at the career records and saw the top wins, and I said I'm shooting for that one.
It's really cool because we've been best friends since like kindergarten. We've wrestled with each other forever, and so it's kind of nice being the top dogs in the wrestling room.
While the results are similar, the way they get there on the mat is a little different.
I'm really aggressive, and I like to just keep pushing the pace. I don't like to sit back, and I'm a big pinner, so I like to just go out there and just be super aggressive.
I like more of a technician. I really like being kind of methodical with my moves, but every now and then, if the situation is tight, I can throw a nice headlock.
Gauboy and Dill have been part of a group that's raised the level of Maple Grove wrestling. They're definitely leaders.
They're a lot of fun for the team. They kind of help keep spirits up. Team morale is good. They're pretty strong leaders. They'll encourage everyone else. One more, champions do one more.
Two of the best wrestlers we've ever had in the same class. Zach's a 3-time team captain. Johnny's a 2-time. Just leadership, wrestling ability, team points. It's top to bottom, great assets to the team. And both great students, too.
He's right about that last part. Gauboy has a 4.0 grade point average, and Dill is at 3.98.
I definitely take academics seriously. I've always strived to be the best in wrestling and in school, so I work really hard outside of school, and I stay up. Sometimes I'm up really late on wrestling nights, but push through it just like wrestling.
Definitely academics first. I mean, you can't wrestle without being successful in school, and I view wrestling as more something that it's kind of like giving me the drive to work hard.
They've set themselves up for bright futures. Zach will attend the U.S. Naval Academy.
I've been wanting to go to the Naval Academy ever since I can remember, like 6th grade. I've been setting myself up to go there for a long time, and I've definitely taken the classes, taken wrestling seriously, taken sports, leadership experiences, and definitely set myself up to get the best opportunity to go.
Johnny will stay closer to home for college and plans to be Dr. Dill someday.
I'm going to the U of M Twin Cities and majoring in biology on the pre-med route. My grandpa and my uncle are both dentists, and now my sister's on track for dental school as well. And so I've always had that exposure to the medical field, and it's just always clicked.
Are you leaning dental-wise possibly or not really?
No, I'm going to rebel. I want to be a pediatrician.
In a couple of weeks, Dill and Gauboy will wrap up their high school wrestling careers. They helped Maple Grove to its first state tournament team berth as sophomores and hope to do it again. Gauboy's been to state 3 times as an individual and Dill twice, and they plan to be back.
I want to place top 3 in state this year. That's my goal, and as a team, I want to go to state as a team and win a team match at state.
First in state. I mean, you can't say I want to just place 5th, because if you're going to say I'm going to place 5th, you'll be lucky to make it to state. So you gotta shoot, aim high, and that's what, if you work to place first in state. I mean, you might get there. So.
Dill and Gauboy were named all-conference this week, along with 5 of their teammates. Dill earned all-state recognition as well. The Crimson earned the number 2 seed for Saturday's Section 5 team tournament behind Centennial. Sports Jam returns in a moment as John talks with Breck's girls hockey team.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Breck girls hockey team is the number 1 seed in the Section 5A tournament. They will start their playoff run on Tuesday night. They'll take on Rogers in the semifinals at Parade Ice Garden. 3 of the captains have joined us now on the show. We'll start with senior Melita McMillan and talk about this year. A great season, 22 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie through the regular season. How did you feel overall about the way your regular season went?
I think our season's gone great. Our team's really come together. We had couple rough weeks, couple losses, but I think overall we really came through and pulled ourselves up to a lot of challenging games.
You had a new coach that came in right before the season started. You girls seemed to adjust to that pretty well. How did it go under Chris Peterson as a head coach?
Oh, he's been great. You know, I think the transition was good, and I think our team handled it well, and right off the bat we just started out with some games. We started winning right away, and it just got better from there.
First round bye, you've had a few more days off than the other teams in the section. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage? You worry about being a little rusty when the puck drops Tuesday against Rogers?
Well, it depends on the team. I think our team's ready. I think we just came off a win against Minnetonka, so I think we're just going to practice well and see how it goes on Tuesday.
Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you. Turning
now to Taylor Nyson, and Taylor's been a terrific season for your team. How much fun has this been to be part of this team this year and the last couple of years being in the state tournament?
Well, you know, it's just been a great experience all throughout. You know, I've gone through 2 state tournaments and hopefully getting back to a 3rd one, but it'll be sad to stop.
The win against Minnetonka that Melissa mentioned, how much confidence did that give you beating a quality Class 2A team like that heading into your postseason now?
It definitely gave us a lot of confidence. Hopefully we'll see it in the next couple games, but yeah, we played a couple of AA teams and that was just another great game.
Good luck in the playoffs here.
Thank you.
And Karina Moret, another one of the captains for the Mustangs. And tell me about this season for you. How much fun has this been to be part of this team again?
This year has been a great year. Like, I don't think I could have asked for a better year. This team, for the last 4 years, we've always been a close, tight-knit team. But, like, as our record shows, this has been a great year.
Coming into the season, were you a little nervous about the new coaching staff coming in? It's so close to the beginning of the year. You knew you had talent back, but it's always a different element when you bring in new coaches.
Yes, I was definitely nervous. Like, any time you get a new coach, it's always like you don't know what's going to happen, how their coaching style is going to be, and whatnot, and especially only 2 weeks right before the season. But I think it was definitely a good transition.
If you're able to get by Rogers in the semifinals, you'd either play Orono or possibly Blake. Would you like to play Blake a 3rd time, or does it matter to you who you would play on Thursday if you're able to win the semis?
I mean, Breck and Blake are always rivals, and those games, like, the whole school, both schools look forward to. But, I mean, it wouldn't be a problem if we played Orono, a new team, as well. So
5 more wins and you'd be state champions in Class A. What do you need to do as a team to make that happen?
I think to make that happen, we just need to take it 1 game at a time. I mean, when you get into sections and sections, 1 loss means the end of your season. So we just need to take 1 game at a time and play it, give it our all.
Karina, good luck this week.
Thank you.
Breck girls, again, the number 1 seed in Section 5A for girls hockey. Their first game Tuesday night, and if they win, they'll play in the section championship Thursday night at Parade Ice Garden. We'll be back to wrap up the show after this timeout.
Our game of the week is the Section 5A Girls Hockey Championship game. You can see it on Channel 12 Friday night at 8:30 and 11 and Saturday at 5 and 11 p.m. That's all for today's show.
Thanks for watching. See you next week beginning Tuesday at 3:30 here on Sports Jam.